this video, we're going to talk about one thing that you can do that's going to allow you to focus your thoughts better, that's going to help you get better sleep at night, it's going to reduce your stress, and help you become a better communicator. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kirsten with Watersedgetarot, and welcome to my channel. So what's this one thing that you can do that you will always have time to do? It's just making it a priority. It's journaling. Yeah, we're done talking about journaling today. So let's talk about how journaling will allow you to have more focused thoughts. You will have this whirlwind of just what if, can do, have to, maybes, yesterday, tomorrow, going on inside your head, and you have nowhere for these thoughts to go. Journaling is going to be the answer. Think about it. It's pretty simple. Your thoughts are just go buzzing in your head because they have nowhere to go. You don't have the time right now to pay attention to these thoughts and to entertain all these thoughts, but they still are part of you and they still need to have their time. They need to have their attention, just like a kid does. Your thoughts are important. We need to put them on paper. We need to get them out of our head so that way we can focus. You'd be surprised how, when I'm in the middle of, not necessarily a panic attack, I mean, I do journal when I'm panicking, but how I'm in the middle of just something really stressful, and I will even grab my phone. I will grab my phone and I have a little notes thing on here, and I'll be like, blah, 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 blah. I need to get this out. I need to get dishes done. I have to do this thing for Scott. I have to get, a few videos out. I have to make the post. And then as soon as I get everything out of my head that's just buzzing, 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 it feels good to have it out. And I literally feel like I can breathe and the weight of my world is a little less off my shoulders. Not saying I don't still have to get these things done, but I can focus now. I can focus on the fact that I'm making dinner and I'm working on doing the dishes at the same time because, that is one thing I can do at once. When I'm waiting for, part of my dinner to finish a complete phase of whatever it's doing, I'll do some dishes. And then when it's time for me to pay attention to dinner, I'll go back to dinner. But while I'm in the middle making dinner, my head just wants to burst out with everything else I was supposed to do that day, or I have to get done tomorrow, or if I have a big weekend planned, my mind goes into overdrive on what I need to pack, what I need to have prepared, what my personal suitcase versus my business suitcase looks like. And it's just kind of crazy. There's a lot going on. So what do? I write it down, which leads me to my second point. It reduces stress for the very reason of why it helps you focus more, because you have all these things going on inside of you and you have all these emotions going on inside of you. And most of us don't allow ourselves to lean into our emotions. We don't allow ourselves to actually feel the emotion, experience it, and let it go, because that is a process of being present. It's a process of actually giving time to your emotion and allowing yourself to express it in a way that's positive and happy. Most of us just repress it and say, I don't have time for this, and move on with our lives. Guess what? That emotion still needs to be processed. That emotion, if it doesn't get processed, it builds into stress, anxiety, fear, nervousness, panics. And the way to get that out in a very calm and easy manner, maybe not calm, is writing. And what I mean by maybe not calm is I angry, right? I have wrote in all caps, just pressing into the paper. I've ripped paper before. I ripped panicky so much where I can't even read what I actually wrote, the day after, but guess what? I have it written out. I've written it with the emotion of, I just need to get stuff out. Thing is though, getting the emotions out and acknowledging the emotions, even after the fact through journaling, does reduce stress. Science proves it. Look up an article. I'm not just making this up. It reduces your stress and it helps you to get those emotions out. Also, I want to point out that stress is the number one cause of all illness. Doctors agree upon it. They just can't prove it because, it is. Science only goes so far. Promotes better sleep. Okay, so how many of you out there toss and turn and you just can't get to sleep because your mind won't shut off? Okay, if that's the reason you can't sleep, I have a journal upstairs next to my bed. It's next to my little lampstand, and I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. If I'm tossing and turning and not getting sleep because this thing won't stop, I'm waking up. Well, not really waking because I've not been asleep, but I'm getting my body up. I'm turning on my little nightlight, and I'm journaling on my pillow. Legit. Why? Because I obviously have thoughts in my brain that need to get out. Maybe those thoughts are just something silly like, Scott didn't wash the plate tonight, and I don't know why, but it's really just triggering me, and here I am writing about this. Oh, and then the cat decided to knock food all over the table, and I had to clean it up. And the dog right now is just being really puppy and teething, and it was my idea to get the puppy, and I love the puppy, but I really wish this teething stage would go quicker, but I'm supposed to be enjoying the moment. Oh, and I really like the color green the other day. Like, I just want to paint the walls green. Maybe I should paint the walls green. You know, it can be that type of ADD journaling. Literally, that is what my midnight journals look like. There is no sense of rhyme and reason. There's no well-written blah, blah, blah. It is just thought after thought after thought after thought, getting on paper, getting out of my head. And guess what? Almost every time, 10 minutes later, I'm asleep. There's a few times where it's other things, but that's hormones and, you know, environment. I'm just talking about head. If it's in my head, almost every time, 9 out of 10 times, I go to sleep within 10 minutes. And it's great. So, you know, do I want to stay up and tossing and turning for 3 hours and be like, I got shitty sleep? Or do I just want to take the 10 minutes it takes me, not even actually, to wake up a little bit, turn on my lamp, and write? And also, I want to add, I purposely have a blue, like 5 kilowatt, I don't know what it is, but like a blue light bulb that's like 5 watts or whatever you measure light bulbs in. Sorry, not that type of smart. And like, that's what I turn on. I don't turn on a super bright light. You can even get night light lamps, like light lamp bulbs, and you can put that in something so that way it's not super bright. Like, the light that I write by is just enough for me and my journal and not to be obnoxious to everyone around me. So consider that too. And it improves communication. How does it improve your communication? How many times have you gotten into it with somebody, your significant other, a friend, even your boss maybe, and they're like, well, what do you really want? What is it that you want me to do? And like, when you take the emotion out of it, you're just like, I don't really know. Well, you know why you don't know? Because you haven't actually listened to yourself. You haven't taken the time to journal. So if I ever get aggravated with my husband, which happens, I literally will journal first because I have to be responsible for my emotions, and I have to see if the problem's really him or if it's me. Half the time it's me. Half the time I'm just upset because I feel like, you know, I'm doing too much or there's not too much going on. And then as soon as I kind of look at things from his perspective, I'm like, oh, no, I'm just mad because I'm tired and I'm aggravated, and this is me just being aggravated because of being tired. Just like a kid, when they get tired, they get cranky and aggravated. When I physically exhaust myself and I don't give myself a break, I get tired and aggravated. And if I don't journal, I could possibly take it out on my husband, or I can take responsibility for my life and I can actually just write it out. It's that simple. Or if there is something going on between me and my husband and it is like a bigger thing, I will journal first so that way I can actually tell him what I need him to do, what the expectations are. Because if this is a difficult conversation and I don't know how to express myself, how is he going to be able to receive that information? Right, so you need to be able to communicate what it is you need. And how do you practice that? Other than talking it out in your head, you can write about it. And when you write about it, you get it out of your head and you literally figure out what you need, and you can actually even make lists, and you can have, you know, an actual understanding of what you need on paper if it's a difficult conversation in the moment. So now let's talk about the myths that everyone likes to tell me about why they can't journal. My favorite is I don't have time. First off, you have time. Journaling isn't like a 30-minute activity. You're just not making it a priority. You can journal a lot in 5 minutes. You can journal even more in 10 minutes. Journaling doesn't need to be more than 10 minutes at max. So, do you have like spare 5 minutes in the morning or a spare 5 minutes at night before you go to bed that you can journal? Probably. Do you have time to sit in a parent pickup line and just scroll on your phone? Yeah, you can journal then too. Speaking of, how often do you just scroll on your phone? Doom scrolling. You can journal instead of doing that. Journaling doesn't have to be pretty either. It doesn't have to be all rainbows and sunshines. It's definitely not Dear Diary. The whole Dear Diary journaling, that's for somebody. That's not anyone who's watching my videos, because I'm going to tell you, my journaling looks very much ADD and squirrel like my brain is. I will write, you know, I'll be writing all about, you know, the fact that I got the house clean and everything looks great. And then all of a sudden I'll talk about something that happened 6 years ago between me and my mom that has no relevance to the fact that I cleaned the house, because that's how my brain works. I just write the way my brain works. And you know what? No one else is going to read this. There's no judgment. It's literally just you and your thoughts. The only one judging your journaling is you. So just journal, because there's no point in judging it. It's just words on paper to get out of your head. Yeah, you might get some really cool breakthroughs and epiphanies doing it. That's awesome, but that's not you judging, that's you learning from you. Another myth, and I love this one too, is I just don't have the right journal for me. The most right journal for me is this one. Yeah, it's beat up. It's a composition notebook. Get it at the dollar store for $1.25 because it's no longer just $1 there. This pretty little notebook that most of us get at the store, yeah, that's not right for most of you because it's too pretty. This one I don't care about. I use this too. Another notebook, binder, full of loose leaf. This is like literally my business binder, so it's got more than that just that in it, but that works too. This was my old purse notebook, literally. If I was, waiting in the parking lot for something and I had stuff on my mind, just take it out, right in there. No one has to know you're journaling. They probably think you're making lists or something like that. And, if you're self-conscious about it, just tell people, I'm just making a list, or I'm just writing a few notes while it's in my brain. No one has to know. So, perfect journal, you can't journal because you don't have the right one. There are multiple journals that you can write in. You just need paper, you need pen. Just do it. And then the other one is that it's just too hard. How is writing down the thoughts that you're having in your head hard? My journaling, especially at night, half the time goes, I'm tired, I want sleep, but my brain won't shut off, so here we are writing. Now let's see where this takes me. Because that's literally what's going on in my brain. I don't know what's keeping me up half the time until I start writing. And then it might continue on being like, my brain's going crazy. It's like just going from point A to point B to point C, and I have no explanation. I know I need to be working on A, B, and C, and then I probably figure out what's actually at the core of what's keeping my brain up. It could be that I have this really cool inspirational idea that I kind of just said, okay, I don't have time to focus on that because I'm driving. And so my brain's like, hey, you remember that really cool inspirational idea that you just pushed away because you were driving? Well, can we talk about it now? Can we talk about it now? And I probably just really forgot about it. And then I write it in my journal, and guess what? It's in my journal. It's on paper. It's out of my brain. I get sleep. I wake up in the morning and I go, what the heck did I journal about? Oh yeah, that's a really cool idea. Let's do something with that. Yeah, that's what journaling does. Journaling's pretty awesome. So if you're going to tell me that you can't journal, put it in the comment below and tell me why you can't journal, and I'll come back and tell you how we can figure out how to get journaling into your life. If you stuck it out this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Give me a like or a dislike even, I don't care, just be honest. If you want more personal coaching session, there is a link in the description below, and I will see you next time.